And for some analysis into this, we turn to Michael Collins. He's the founder and CEO of WinCap Financial and also an adjunct professor at Endicott College in Massachusetts. First of all, great having you and thank you for joining us. Second, what's your reaction to the new US-EU trade deal?
Well, it's certainly a sign of progress. The EU and US are two of the largest trading blocs in the world, so anything that reduces friction is going to be, on the margins at least, a positive for the market. The deal certainly isn't perfect, but it lowers the temperature, gives businesses a little bit more visibility.
And Michael, how do you see markets responding to this news?
Yeah, well, the markets love clarity, and this deal does provide some. Stocks have already been pricing in less uncertainty around the trade, and this just adds to that momentum. I think you'll see continued strength in multinational names as well as industrials that are more sensitive to global demand because of this.
And going into the details, do you think the new tariffs could still hit U.S. businesses despite this agreement?
Certainly, right? We've seen Trump flare up tariffs on numerous occasions for many reasons. As it relates to this deal specifically, even though pharmaceuticals were put in that deal, Trump says there's more work to be done in that space, heavily implying the use of Section 232 or national security tariffs to cause more disruption in the pharmaceutical space, much like we've seen with semiconductors.
Yes, exactly. I'd like to go deeper into semiconductors because it was a big discussion during the statements at the end of this deal by Trump, and it's a big issue around the world. How do you see that?
Well, we've seen Trump turn around on the semiconductor issue. I think as recently as of last week, they've allowed the AI chips back into NVIDIA because of the Chinese stranglehold on rare earth minerals. And I think CNN had a report recently saying that the Chinese were coming to the table emboldened because of this. So there's certainly more room and certainly more opportunity for turbulence.
And Michael, how should small businesses prepare for continued trade but under this uncertainty?
Yeah, I mean, flexibility is key. You know, you've heard a lot of people talking about diversifying your supply chains, revisiting price strategy, but small businesses generally don't have the luxury necessarily of passing on the high cost or higher cost to consumers. So proactive planning matters. And as you mentioned in the last quote I heard on the news, you know, European winemakers, as an example, might still be under pressure, and that could apply to a whole host of businesses.
And Michael, I'd like to look at the long term. Do you see economic risks from using tariffs as a negotiation tool? How do you see the long term?
Yeah, I mean, in the longer run, right, anything can happen. We've seen that. You know, if you talked to me 10 years ago, you know, tariffs were something we talked about in economic history books and not something that are currently, you know, in use in the modern world. You know, that being said, you could see more certainty. Their political winds could change, could shift things pretty broadly. And if there's ever any severe economic turbulence, you know, the tariffs could probably be the first thing to go. You know, however, in the intermediate term, the consumer is still going to face higher prices, even though they haven't been passed through at an aggressive level yet. Eventually, everyone passes on these price increases.
Michael
and
Collins.
That could weaken the consumer.
Oh, sorry there, Michael Collins. Great having you. Thank you for your insights.
Thank you, Diego.